You feel it, don't you? That strange pressure in the air, like the sky itself is holding its breath. People keep walking around, pretending everything's normal, but you can see it in their eyes. They know something's coming, something big. They just don't want to admit it. It's easier to scroll, to laugh, to drown in noise, than to face that uneasy little voice in the back of their heads that keeps whispering, "Wake up now." Comfort, such a beautiful little lie, isn't it? Soft pillows, warm rooms, predictable routines, all wrapped up in this neat little package we call normal. You clutch it like a child holding a teddy bear, thinking it keeps you safe, thinking it shields you from the chaos outside. But here's the thing, comfort isn't your friend. No comfort is a smooth, talking con artist, feeding you just enough warmth so you stop moving, stop questioning, stop noticing. It whispers, "Relax, nothing's wrong, stay here," while the walls around you slowly close in. You don't even feel it, not until there's no room left to breathe. People think danger is loud, sirens, explosions, screaming. Oh no, the real danger is silent. It comes with a lullaby, with a warm blanket, with the sweet hum of everything seeming fine. You don't see the rust creeping on the hinges, the cracks forming in the walls, because you're too busy sinking deeper into the couch of your own illusions. Comfort doesn't have to chase you. You willingly walk into its arms and hand over the keys to your own awareness. The irony, you think comfort is a reward. You work hard, you struggle, and then you tell yourself you've earned a little peace. You've earned the right to stop paying attention. But what's really happening? You're letting your guard down in the middle of the battlefield. The enemy isn't the noise outside, it's the silence inside. And that silence grows louder every day you keep ignoring the signs. There's something about comfort that makes people blind, not just to danger, but to opportunity, to truth, to reality itself. When you're comfortable, your eyes half close, your hearing dulls, and the sharp edges of the world blur into something soft and safe. But the world doesn't soften just because you look away. No, it sharpens, it hardens, it prepares. And while you're dreaming in your cozy little bubble, it's setting the stage for something you will never see coming. You ever notice how animals in the wild sleep light? Ears twitching, noses sniffing, eyes half open. That's survival. They can't afford to sink into the kind of comfort you worship. But humans, oh, you've built palaces of distraction to keep yourself from noticing the faint smell of smoke. And when the fire finally reaches your door, you'll be too groggy to move. That's the beauty of comfort. It doesn't just numb you, it chains you. Invisible chains, padded so well you forget they're there. People tell themselves they're content. That's the word they use. Like it's noble. But it's not contentment, it's sedation. And sedation feels good, right until the moment it doesn't. The thing about awareness is it demands energy. It demands you stay sharp, stay uncomfortable, keep questioning every little thing you think you know. Comfort hates that. Comfort wants you docile, compliant, predictable. And the scariest part, you let it. You even defend it. You build your whole identity around it. The silent killer doesn't need a weapon. It doesn't need to threaten you. All it needs is to keep you lulled, distracted, convinced that everything is fine. You know what's worse? Once you're too deep in it, you can't even remember what awareness feels like. You can't remember the thrill of danger, the electricity of being fully alive. You've traded it all for a warm, heavy blanket you can't crawl out from under. And you think you're safe. You think you're in control. But comfort was in control the whole time. Fear, people treat it like it's this big, ugly monster hiding under the bed, something to avoid, to silence, to run from. But fear, oh, fear is the most honest thing you've got. It's raw, it's pure. It's the one voice in your head that doesn't sugarcoat a single word. And yet, you've been taught to push it away, to drown it in distractions, to pretend it's not whispering in the dark. Funny thing though, fear doesn't leave. It waits, it watches. It sharpens itself while you're busy pretending it's not there. The problem isn't fear itself. The problem is what you do with it. Most of you let it paralyze you. You freeze. You overthink. You wait for the perfect moment, the perfect sign, the perfect guarantee, and in doing so, you hand over your future to hesitation. Fear is like a shadow. It's always there. You can't get rid of it. You can't kill it. But you can learn to use it. The trouble is, you've been convinced fear is a signal to stop, when really it's a signal to move. Fear is proof you're standing at the edge of something real, something that matters. You don't get scared over things that don't matter. No one loses sleep over a paper cut. You only get that deep, stomach churning kind of fear when the stakes are high. That means there's something on the other side worth reaching for. But instead of moving toward it, you turn away, convincing yourself that safety is the smart choice. Safety is just another word for I gave up. Think about the times you've really grown. Were you comfortable? Were you calm? No, you were probably terrified. You didn't know what was going to happen next. Your pulse was racing. Your hands were shaking, and every part of you was screaming to step back. But you didn't. Or maybe you did. And that's why you're still wondering what would have happened if you hadn't. Fear is the door. You either open it or you stand outside listening to what could have been. The thing about fear is it doesn't just stop you. It rewrites the truth. It tells you stories that sound so reasonable, so logical, that you don't even question them. Knows not the right time. I'm not ready yet. What if it doesn't work? And here's the punchline. You're not afraid of the failure. You're afraid of the responsibility that comes with succeeding. Because once you succeed, you can't hide anymore. You can't go back to the comfort of being unseen. Most people treat fear like a red light. I treat it like a green one. If I'm afraid, it means I'm alive. It means I'm close to something real. Fear is the signal flare in the night pointing you toward the fire. You can either run from it or walk into it and see what's on the other side. And yeah, the fire might burn you, but standing in the dark forever, that'll kill you much slower and much quieter. The truth is, fear is a compass. It points directly toward the thing you need most. But compasses don't move your legs. You have to decide whether you'll take the step. And fear won't beg you. It'll just stay there, humming in your chest, whispering in your ear, reminding you every single day what you're avoiding. That whisper never fades. It just gets quieter. And one day, you mistake the quiet for peace. But that's not peace. It's just the sound of your potential rotting away while you pretend you don't hear it. People think the truth is this beautiful, shining thing, like sunlight breaking through the clouds. They imagine it's warm, comforting, liberating, but the real truth, oh, it's jagged, it's heavy. It cuts when you try to hold it. And most of the time, when you finally see it, you wish you could unsee it, but you can't. That's the thing about truth. It sticks to you like blood on your hands. You've been living in a world made of little lies. The kind you tell yourself to make it through the day. Everything's fine. I'm in control. Nothing's going to change. Those lies are like soft pillows. You sink into them, and you stop noticing how they're smothering you. And then one day, the pillow's gone, and you're gasping for air because the truth hit you in the face. That's when most people panic. That's when they start running. See, the truth doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't wait for your permission. It doesn't care if you've built a life that depends on ignoring it. When it arrives, it tears through everything. Your plans, your illusions, your safety nets, and it doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door down and drags you out into the light, whether you like it or not. That's why people call it harsh or brutal. Not because it's cruel, but because it's honest. The dangerous thing about avoiding the truth is that it doesn't stop existing just because you look the other way. It just keeps growing in the dark, like mold, spreading into every corner of your life until it's too big to ignore. And by the time you finally face it, it's not a whisper anymore. It's a scream. A scream that drowns out everything else. That's when you realize the truth isn't here to destroy you. It's here to strip away everything that's been rotting you from the inside. The funny part is, most people think they want the truth. They say it all the time. Just be honest with me. But what they really mean is, tell me something that won't hurt. And when the truth finally does hurt, they get angry. They call it unfair. They blame the messenger. They pretend it's all just some mistake. Because accepting the truth means accepting that you were wrong. That you've been living in a way that doesn't work. That everything you thought was solid was just smoke and mirrors. The truth forces you to make a choice. Keep pretending or start rebuilding. And rebuilding isn't easy. It's messy, it's slow, it's uncomfortable. You have to tear down parts of yourself you've been protecting for years. You have to admit that the version of you who ignored the truth was weaker, smaller. And that's a hard thing to swallow. But the alternative, living in a padded little box, pretending you're free while the walls close in. The truth isn't your enemy. It's the only friend you've got that doesn't lie to your face. It's the one thing that'll grab you by the throat, and pull you out of the quicksand you've been sinking into. But it's not gentle. It's not going to pat you on the back and tell you you're special. It's going to show you exactly who you are. No filters, no masks, no excuses. And once you've seen that, you can't go back to pretending you're someone else. What most people don't realize is that the truth isn't here to save your comfort. It's here to save your life. And saving a life is never clean, never quiet. It's violent. It's messy. Sometimes it feels like it's killing you before you realize it's the only thing keeping you alive. And that's the part people forget. The truth doesn't always feel good, but it's the only thing that's real. You know what's funny about people. They think they're safe because the world looks calm. Streets are quiet, lights are on, routines still tick along like clockwork, and they mistake that for security. But calm isn't safety. It's just the silence before something snaps. You can feel it if you pay attention. It's in the way the air feels heavier, in the way people avoid each other's eyes, in the little glitches in the machine that everyone pretends not to notice. That's the kind of calm that makes your skin crawl, because you know deep down it's not going to last. People don't prepare for storms when the sky's still blue. They wait. They wait until the wind's tearing the roofs off and the water's at their knees. And then they start screaming for help. That's human nature, lazy, comfortable, and convinced they've got more time than they do. And then, when the disaster hits, they act surprised, like they weren't warned 1,000 times. The signs were there all along, but they didn't want to see them. It's easier to ignore the tube and ticking when you don't want to know the bomb's about to go off. But the thing is, life always warns you before it hits. Always. The problem is, it doesn't warn you in ways you like. It doesn't send a polite letter to your mailbox saying, "Dear you, trouble's on the way." No, it's more subtle. A strange feeling in your gut. A dream that lingers in your head. A news headline you brush off. A conversation that doesn't sit right. Those are the whispers before the scream. And if you can't hear the whispers, you'll never be ready for the scream. People love to tell themselves, "I'll deal with it when it comes." That's the anthem of the unprepared. They think they'll have the time, the strength, the clarity to act when the moment arrives. But here's the reality. When the moment comes, it's already too late to prepare. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your preparation. And if you never prepared, you fall hard. That's when people panic. That's when they make stupid choices. And in chaos, stupid choices get you buried. You can always tell who's been paying attention when something big unfolds. They move differently. While everyone else is stumbling around, shocked and scared, they're already 3 steps ahead, calm, precise, almost cold. That's not luck. That's awareness. They've been watching. They've been listening. They've been storing up energy and resources